Okay, so today we are going to update my Notion page. I have already done quite a few updates, but let's just take a look. So this page was originally created by Anna Lenkovska or Anna Lenks on YouTube, so I will link her video below where you can get a link to this template and also the video in which I kind of customized this. But I have changed some things since then just to make it more aligned with what I use Notion for. And we have links here to the 3 major pages that I have kept, goals, and I have updated this a little bit. These did not used to be tables, they were a kind of block layout, and although it looked really nice, it was a little bit finicky to work with, and also there wasn't an easy way to indicate whether or not you completed the goals as you moved forward in time. So I did convert them to these tables, which don't look quite as nice, but they are a little bit more user-friendly. So I kept quarter 2, and I was able to mark which ones I completed and which ones I didn't, which ones are like almost completed. And then I did just want to keep this space for reflections section. So I may add more to that later, but for now, so if you are interested in how I developed these goals or kind of what my thought process was reflecting on quarter 2 and looking forward to quarter 3, there is another video going over that, so I will have that link. And then I've actually added this one since my goal video, and that is that I want to increase native content consumption, so less translated things, and we'll talk about how I got to that conclusion later. So that's everything for the goals page. Next page is resources, and this is one that's I'm unsure of how useful this is going to be for me, but I have found myself getting in a rut of just reading books, listening to audiobooks. I just feel like I'm kind of not branching out enough. I went through my Netflix saved list, and I'd like to do that with my other apps as well where I have access to streaming, and I added in everything that I had saved for all of my languages. So for format, I have video story is like video content that's not teaching you things directly. This could be YouTube videos, shows, that sort of thing. Video educational would be videos that are teaching you something, like Learn Korean in Korean. Book reading is the same as video story, and then same for apps. I have a status column here, so not in use is something that I haven't started yet. I have 2 options for in progress. So in progress would be it is a finishable thing and I have not yet finished it. Ongoing is it's not really a finishable thing. Like, for example, I have these 2 apps that I use for reading news articles. I'm not going to ever finish them because they're just going to keep uploading articles. So again, like I said, I'm not sure how useful having all these shows is going to be for me, but potentially, sometimes you log into Netflix or whatever and it just seems like there is nothing that you are interested in watching. It would be better if I made this like a gallery and I put pictures for each of them. That would be better. I don't want to spend the time to do that, so I'm not going to. And my last thing that I added was books read, and this is just a list of all the books that I have read not in English, and I love it. I have read 23 books. We have title, author, what language it's in, the date that I finished it, whether or not it is translated, and the format. So I have graphic novel, physical or ebook, so this would be a normal book of text, whether it has pictures or not, and then audiobook. I could filter, and you could say that I have read 7 chapter books or whatever you want to call them. And what led me to understand that I need to focus more on native content was creating this list, because every single one of the books that I have read in Spanish is translated. So I am already working on that. I'm already listening to a native Spanish book. I don't have anything against translated books. I know that that is a big thing in the language learning community, that, you know, some people think that translated books are awful, but I do want to make sure that I am incorporating lots of native content, primarily for the cultural reasons. Like, me reading Catching Fire in Spanish doesn't teach me anything about the culture of Spanish-speaking countries. So anyway, I love this thing. I do track my reading in a different app. This is not like the primary way in which I track my reading, but I do want to make a dedicated, like, non-English tracking thing. I am trying to figure out how to make an automatic link to be able to say right here how many of these books I have read in that language, but I haven't figured that out yet. So for Spanish, this is the table of resources filtered for in Spanish on Netflix. And then same with outside of language learning, but connected to language learning, I also track my unread shelf for all languages. So I have Spanish, French, and English books on here. My German ones are not on here because I'm not actively reading them right now. So in my page, I have it filtered for Spanish, and this is a list of things that have not been read yet from my unread shelf. And this is all of the ones that I have read. Oh, I didn't put a title here, so. Something else that I have been doing on here just to make sure that my Spanish unread books are not getting out of hand is kind of buffering, I guess, the amount of books that I'm adding to my shelf with the amount that I'm taking off. So basically, if I read 2 books, then I'm allowed to buy a book. I think that those are all the updates that I was planning to make for this quarter. I use a bullet journal for daily and weekly planning. So I would say monthly or smaller amounts of time are planned in the bullet journal, and then like monthly or larger spans of time are planned in Notion. So if you would like to see a video of me updating my bullet journal, this is a brand new one. I did film setting this up. It's very simple. I don't do a lot of crazy planning in my bullet journal. Then I can do a voiceover for that video if you would like to see it. So let me know in the comments if you want me to edit that. Definitely check out Anna Lanx's videos. As I said, this original template was created by her, and she has an amazing travel template available on her channel and all kinds of great Notion and language learning content. So definitely check her out as well. And I will see you in the next video.